What's up, everybody? We are live for another Ariels Entertainment podcast. I got the rings on. I got the Ray-Bans on. We got an exciting packed show for you. We are live in Denver, Colorado. ArielENT.com. Call all your friends and family. Tell everybody, get on the couch. Call them on the phone. Let's FaceTime. Be like, yo, ArielENT.com is on. Let's watch it right now. Let's go. What is up, best friends? What is up, everybody? What's up, world? Ariels Entertainment Podcast. We are live today in Denver, Colorado. It's about 80 degrees and I'm sweating and I'm wearing a tank top. And when I'm driving, I don't wear a shirt. So I'm like pretty hot here in the studio. I was like, I ain't gonna wear no shirt today, but maybe next time. Yeah. ArielENT.com, Ariels Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Ariel. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for supporting me, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Yeah. Instagram, ArielENTPOD. My website, ArielENT.com. We'll get straight to that. Guys, let's give a huge welcome round of applause to our guest today. He goes by Tyg. He goes by Holy Kicks, a.k.a. goes by Tiger on the business card. Tyg, tell us what's up. Where you at?
Woo! Woo! Thanks, Ariel. Thanks for the nice welcome, dude. I have less lights than you, but I am fired up and ready for a good conversation, brother.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm all about that action. Woo! Before we get you talking about what you do and where you're from, you know how I do, you know how we do. I got to do the business. So the best way to support me, guys, thank you so much for telling all your friends and family about Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. We are blowing up. I've been performing back again, guys. So remember, I do music. So check out my music. I do photography. I've been performing again, and I've been telling everybody in the crowd, I'm like, hey, remember, I have a podcast, Ariel's Entertainment Podcast, and it's actually hotter and blowing up more than my music. And everybody loves to hear that. So they be like, after the show, they come up to me, hey, what's your podcast? Where can I find it? It's everywhere. It's on Apple, Spotify, all podcast platforms, all social media platforms. Just type in ArielENT.com or type in Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. That simple. Boom. Here we go. Another great way to support me. And bring it up on the screen because, you know, that's how I do. We got the red t-shirt, white t-shirt. You guys are so lucky. I haven't raised the prices yet. You guys are so lucky. I've been telling constantly that I'm going to raise it up to 20. And I haven't yet, but you know I will here soon. Check it out, ArielENT.com. Before the shirts run out, I got one small left in white, one small left in red, lots of mediums, and I think one extra large. Once they're gone, and they're gonna get new merch, new designs, and we'll see what else. Got some ideas. We'll see how it goes. So thank you guys so much. ArielENT.com. Buy the t-shirts for your friends and family. They will love it. Trust me, it's amazing for the summer. They'll love the logo. It's all about happiness, community. You already know where it's at. Okay. Another great way to support me is by going to YouTube. Yep. We hit 133 subscribers. Believe that. I remember I was at 32 subscribers. When I first started the podcast, I was at 32, 42. And look where we are now, 133. Thank you for all your support. And it's because everybody's taking the links of the videos and sending it to everybody on their phones. I hear that's like, I'm so grateful for everybody doing that. So thank you everybody for grabbing the link. Watching the content or grabbing the link and sending it to everybody on your phone. Thank you so much. Truly means the world to me. I got so much content. You know, I do live shows. I record my music live shows. The last episode, 20 views 2 days ago. We hitting 20 views in 2 days. Glitches in the Matrix with my boy Anthony. You know, we do MMA podcasting. I did a Johnny Cash cover 3 weeks ago. You know how I do shout outs to businesses. I'm on other people's podcasting, showing my muscles. I'm on other businesses, giving shout outs to their smoothies. The list goes on and on. So everybody, thank you so much for all your support. Catch all that content. You can seriously just put the loop on and you can watch this instead of the news. Shut off the news and watch ArielENT.com. Boom. That's how we do. All right. Another great way to support me, guys, remember, is to like, share, follow, and subscribe and comment. Thank you. Oh yeah. donations. Thank you for everybody for your donations. Truly, truly, truly means the world to you, because without you, I cannot pay the bills. That is for sure. So here's shout outs here. I got the list here. Twisted Grape Radio. Thank you so much. Nick Fiore, you always coming through with the commercials. He's always doing shout outs on my podcasting. Carolyn, thank you so much for the donation. That was very sweet. Danny, thank you so much. And Brian Lloyd, thank you so much, bro. I know you just had a kid. I should pick up the phone and give you a call and congratulate you. I will do that very here soon. Thank you for the tip. And I'll mark that down on my list to do. All right, guys, before we get into the show, I want to give thank you guys for everybody for all your support. Thank you for believing in me and just loving all the content and all your feedback, all the emails, all the DMs. I try to respond as soon as I can. So get that. Okay. I will respond. Okay. Here's the prayer. So thank you, everybody. Angel of God, our guardian dear, to whom God love commits us here. Ever this day and night, be at our side to light and guard, to rule and guide. And thank you so much, God, for having Tiger on the show. Thank you, God, for our amazing health, us having things that we like, money for buying the things we need, us supporting each other and just loving us, God, for our dreams and wishes coming true. I know you hear us. Thank you, God. Amen. Boom. That's it. Tyg, tell us who you are, man, and where we can follow you. Woo!
Thanks for the warm welcome, Ariel. Yeah, my name is Tyg, or Tyg Taylor. I often go by Tiger just in the world, and everybody on the street knows me as Tiger. Yeah. And you can follow our website. It's holykicks.org. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, so we're an org site. And you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook at Holy Kicks, where I post up pictures of street life and the work that we do of giving shoes away and reflections about life in the hood, and try to affirm our friends through wonderful pictures there of relationship and try to post up a little bit of joy.
That's what we do, man. I love that. And that's what the show is all about. It's about joy, helping each other out. And when I saw you with your Instagram post, it was meant to be, because it truly just spoke to me. I was like, man, I gotta see his Instagram. So I checked out your Instagram. I was like, all right, book him for the show. I hit up my agent. I was like, yo, we gotta get Tig on the show. We gotta get my boy Tiger on the show. We gotta get Holy Kicks on the show. What can you do? He's like, I'll reach out to him. And look where we are. Thank goodness for technology, and thank goodness for us, believing in each other, because I think it's really cool what you're doing. And it's just a circle of life, man. We help each other out and it comes back, bro. So let me bring it right here. That's Holy Kicks on the Instagram. That's WHOLLYKICKS on the Instagram. You said Facebook, and then you got the website Holy Kicks, WHOLLYKICKS.org. Boom. That's what's up, dude. How long has this been going on?
Well, I've been at it for a little more than about 2 years. Really hardcore. I used to work for another nonprofit called Aurora Warms Unite, ran their shower trailer, did street outreach, organized a drop-in center right here on Colfax. Quit that about a year ago to really make Holy Kicks a thing. So essentially what we do is love people, walk with folks, and we give away new shoes. And so we work with, a year ago August, we'd given away 400 shoes. And this month we'll give away shoe number 3,000. So we've been getting after it here in the last year. And we do that through relationships. Dude. Yeah, we're moving. We do that through relationships on the street. If you're experiencing homelessness here in my hood, chances are we've hooked you up with a pair of shoes before through some sort of process or experience in knowing me or having my friends out there. We work with Aurora Public Schools, Title I schools, where we'll work through what's called a liaison to special populations. And the school will identify children that might need new kicks. And we'll come in with a few of my friends and we'll hook you up with a new pair of kicks. We were just at the Aurora Public School Welcome Center with refugees and immigrants. We did 298 pairs of new kicks a couple weeks ago. That was a big day for us. But we work with some other nonprofits as well that work with folks experiencing homelessness, some kind of economic disparity. And I do just some haphazard events just on the street. And one of the cool things that we do, Ariel, is most of our leaders are either experiencing homelessness or formerly homeless friends, all guys that I met on the street when I first came here. All of my leaders are that I work with on the street are guys that I've met that were living outdoors at one time. Most of my friends have been housed a year or a few months. So we're always kind of building up new leaders and looking for folks that look and feel and sound and have experience like the same folks that we're trying to walk with.
That's beautiful, man.
Rundown.
That's beautiful. Here's some testimonials. After being released from prison, all I had were the clothes on my back. When I was given a new pair of size of 14 tennis shoes, it made my day. Tom, when you help people, sometimes the chain of kindness will keep going. It felt good to do it because I felt like I was changing the world. If you have something that you really like to do, try to use it to help out an organization. Pins, bracelets, or art, helping others. Oh, it went quick, but that was a testimonial. Guys, that's so awesome. Check out holykicks.org. Donate shoes, impact a life. Their mission, the mission of Holy Kicks, is to reach out those in impoverished areas as well, and those in or at risk of being homeless by providing new shoes and socks. Our goal is to walk with and alongside with those in challenging situations by providing a few basic items for everyday life, but to also provide the support and compassion to empower others to consider a life that is deserving to be felt whole, not cast out, less than, discarded, or damaged. Who are you walking with? That is so beautiful, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what life is all about, is helping each other out as much as we can and what we can. And if we have time, we can, this is so beautiful. Tig,
Tyg.
Tyg, mistake.
Yep, it's the hardest name. It's short for Walter. So that tells you something. So Tyg like tiger. It's a tough name, Ariel.
Tyg, the best way we can support is by going to your website.
Yeah, that's a great way to support. So we take financial donations through the website. If you try to link in through the Instagram and just donate instantly off of there, it'll always get angry at you. It's usually best to go to the actual website to donate. So we take financial donations. That's how we buy new shoes. We're at about a $17 price point that we buy new shoes. But we also take donations of new shoes. When we get started, I would sometimes give away slightly used shoes. But what we found is what one person thinks is slightly used is not necessarily what another person. And I started to experience after really probably the first 50 pairs of shoes we were doing, most of those were new. But what I found is that if somebody had the opportunity for a used pair of Nikes or a brand new pair of shoes that were much less expensive, they'd always take the new. And so we just started to realize what really feels great in life is not a hand-me-down, not a leftover, but that's why I always hashtag worth it. We think you're worth a brand new pair of kicks. And so we also have people do, we just got a new hair salon here in town, or an old hair salon down in South Denver that's doing a shoe drive for us right now. We have a way to help you do that, some little 2-page, here's how it looks to put on a little bit of a shoe drive with your business or maybe your school, your organization, your church, folks you hang out with on your block. And we'll often have people, even for a birthday or Christmas or something like that, they'll make it a family project to say, hey, this year adults are all giving new kicks, not to one another, but to somebody we've never met. It's pretty powerful.
Oh, so, I bet. I mean, you just got to be, I bet when you're there and you get that feeling, I bet it's amazing. That's awesome.
Absolutely, man.
Yo, so what is it about Holy Kicks that you love?
Really, man, what I love the most about Holy Kicks is being with people. And what I find is what we experience is the with piece of Holy Kicks. Not only do our leaders or the people that we're working with through donations or the team that I've helped to build up over the last hardcore of the year, just this place of, having one of my leaders who's maybe been in prison get down on his knees and put a new pair of kicks on a kid that came with his grandma at a local school is pretty powerful. And so we're all about the width of the width of the width, right? So my goal is to ultimately, it might not be that child that got a new pair of kicks, but how can we walk with that dad who's working his ass off at work who putting a new pair of shoes on his son just gave him one more run to the grocery store, or a tank of gas, or helping him out, be able to pay his water bill for the month. And that place is really just about empowering, building up somebody else. The kid walks away like saying, "Hey, I got a new pair of shoes," but we've helped out a parent in a beautiful way.
Yes.
And we really find that is the most glorious piece of Holy Kicks, is our whole with piece. My guys on the street, a lot of my friends on the street, they'll use their new kicks for commodity, right? They might need their new pair of kicks to buy something else that they need for the day. And there's no strings attached with Holy Kicks. You don't have to prove why you need them. We usually just say yes. So some of my buds that I know out here at Sweet, like, Tiger, hey, I need a new pair of boots or something. I'm always like, I don't know if you need it. You definitely want it, right? And we usually do our best to hook up our friends the best we can. They're even living homeless or in the motels along Colfax here on this part of Denver. Yeah. Are most of your listeners coming from kind of Denver metro area, or
all around the world?
Okay.
We have listeners in Naples. We have listeners in China. We have listeners in UK. We have listeners in North Carolina. Dude, it's so amazing. Guys, I've been doing this for a year, and like I said, it blew up, dude. It's so awesome. I think the reason it blew up is because the listeners love. I call them my best friends. My listeners are my best friends because they love to hear the other side of the story, how people got started, what was the ups and downs, what of your business, like stuff like that. So we get to ask the deep questions of people like me that are trying to level up. Maybe you said something in our conversation that's like, oh, I never thought of that. That's awesome. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, beautiful, man. Good.
Yeah, man.
Just want to make sure I don't use too much insider language if I'm talking Colfax, that people in the Denver metro area know what I'm chatting about. But
yeah, for sure. Everybody's got, what's cool is that people like to research too, is what I end up finding out. So people will research Colfax, Denver, all that stuff. So straight up, dude. What I was going to ask you, hashtag guys worth it. Cause I like what you said earlier. Cause you're worth it, man. So Tyg, I got that right. I won't forget. I won't forget. I don't know why I forgot in the first place.
It's all right, dude. It's the hardest name in the world.
Bro, who's your role model?
Honestly, dude, I have got probably a number of them. I'm a Jesus follower. I've been a Lutheran pastor most of my life. I don't really roll like most Lutheran pastors. I've literally never gone by the title pastor. I hate titles in the world. And
right.
Definitely my main role model. My main role model is definitely, try to live a life that looks like Jesus. And what I always say is Jesus just walked around, saw things, and did something about it. And that's really the life I've always tried to live. Walk around, see something, and do something about it. And, when I hit the street, I try to roll without any agenda. I'm not a proselytizer. I'm not looking to get people into any place in particular. I'm just trying to love and be genuine in the world. And so definitely, that piece of faith is definitely a role model piece. And that's probably at the top of my list. But I've got a lot of people I pick and choose. I'm always trying to imitate somebody that I see something in. When I came across your stuff, when you reached out to me, I was like, man, I love this dude's energy. Like, he's just posting positive things in life. And what I do is I try to see people, and I'll say, like, if it's a little something that I think is worthwhile imitating, I might say, like, hey, I might try to put a little more of that in my life, or pay attention to how that person does it, so that I might be able to do that better, stronger, faster, cooler, more lovingly.
No, absolutely, dude. I appreciate your kind words, and I really do appreciate you like taking the time out of your day and checking out my Instagram. I don't think people really appreciate that. Like, someone takes the time to look at your stuff. Like, it's like the dopest thing. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much. So what has been some ups and downs on your business? Like, what's one thing you've learned so far with your business?
Yeah. From a business standpoint, I would say the importance of having partners, other nonprofits that to kind of walk with. I'm a pretty average guy, brain power wise. I've just got good heart and good. I've got great leadership ability, but I'm a terrible administrator, and I've really found, how can I surround myself with people that are
Yep.
more skilled,
Yep.
smarter, more experienced in some places than I am.
Yep.
You know, I'm great at making connections on the street, and I can pull off an event at a place, and I know how to get T-shirts made and you know, get shoes purchased. But you know, tapping into other places for fundraising, maybe doing some of the hard work of the administrative pieces of financials. Those are all things I've had to create. And so what I've tried to do is just try to be really honest and vulnerable about my weakness. And I would say my greatest weakness is what I've discovered the last 2.5 years that I've lived this life.
Yeah.
Here in the hood in North Aurora, which is a super diverse neighborhood full of refugees, Spanish speakers. Most of my friends that are experiencing homelessness or formerly homeless here on the street are all African-American folks. And so what I have found is this is the first time in my life I've never had work partners. And that's been really exhausting for me to even today, just to kind of in my house doing 8 hours of kind of administrative stuff and reaching out to folks. I've never worked in an environment when I don't have somebody sitting in a place near me, a staff to lead and be connected with, you know. And a lot of my partners on the street have addiction issues, and all of them have trauma. And so the experiences that of my leaders now is quite a bit different. And so most of the people I work with are all my other leaders now that I'm choosing to work with are, you know, some of the folks are not necessarily from this community. So it's the first time I've not had a place to kind of land out of. And I've really learned the importance of surrounding yourself with solid people. So kind of working through my own trauma right now as I tell you that, I guess.
No, dude, keep going, dude. Don't quit. I like it how you said that you got to surround yourself with people that are, you know, better, smarter in areas than you are. Because for me, man, I'm a one-man show, and there's times where I'm like, I don't want to edit. There's times I just want to just go perform. I just want to do a podcast, and that's it. I don't want to do the editing. I don't want to do, but it's all cool. I love it. I love it. If I could pay somebody right now, be like, hey, after this episode, I want you to edit and have it ready, man, for next week. And you know, that'd be dope. But what I do is I prioritize my day. So like on Sundays, I'll do my editing, and like in the morning. Yeah. And then at midnight, I'll throw it out. Yeah. So
I've definitely learned that too, Ariel. Folks that I've ran into that have running down their passion, maybe a little bit of a dream or a vision to get to some place where they think they can get. I always say that you know what the vision looks like actually when you're there. But what I have found is that most of us, you start by yourself and you're trying to sort of schlock your passion, but you got to find people that believe in the mission, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And
of course.
If you can get those folks to come alongside of you, you're probably golden. But you got to do most of the stuff. By yourself, you know, and get enough traction. It's the cart before the horse, right? So, you know, I'm usually trying to feed the horse and not build the cart, because I think we can go further. But that's work, man.
No, that's legit. I've been playing music for 2 years. I've been doing the podcast for 1 year, and I'm so grateful how it's been going. The music is so amazing. I like playing in front of crowds, and I just started playing again 3 weeks ago. So that's just amazing. I see myself already progressing from 3 weeks ago. I remember when I came back out and played, because I haven't played over a year in like 3 months. Yeah. It was so awesome, dude. I was so scared though. I was nervous, but I'm back in the game, baby.
There's a lot. The world is opening, but it's different now too, right? So
yeah, dude, it is. It is
different. Yeah.
So tell me, here's a cool question. What's kind of your favorite kind of hobbies to do other than like focusing on your business all the time? What are some hobbies you like to do?
You know, it's really a big passion of mine and hobby is definitely, I'm a CrossFitter, so I spend a lot of time.
Nice, dude.
Usually about 5 times a week at my CrossFit gym. My gym is only about a half a mile for me, but it's out of the hood. So it's in Stapleton, kind of a fancy, you cross this street in my hood called Montview. And we go from hood life to suburbs kind of in a, you know, not really suburbs, but a different feel in the urban area, right? And so that's been a good thing of mine. I've got great
Good.
friendships there, and
Yeah.
um,
It's good for your
and
energy. It's good for the spirit. Good for just like,
absolutely,
dude. Because
yeah.
I do the same thing every day, bro. I haven't took a break. I don't remember last time I took a break. I know I need to take a break because my body's telling me. But you know what happens is that like I have a schedule, dude. I'm starting to have a legit schedule.
That a boy.
Even to the bro, even to the point where it's like, okay, you know how you see like special like the special friends reunion, you know, that just happened. I don't know if you heard about,
Yeah.
but there's a special
Yeah,
friend.
watched it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, watched it.
So,
Yeah.
dude, okay, so there's like a few people that couldn't make it to the friends reunion. And then those one of them, I don't remember his name, but one of the actors that couldn't make it was because he said that his schedule was already busy. Dude,
Mm.
can you imagine where like you're told a lot, like your agent law goes like, hey, there's gonna be a friends reunion. They want you to be part in it, but it looks like your schedule's conflicting, and this is like 5-6 months out. And can you believe like having like a schedule like that far out? That's crazy.
Yeah, it is a little crazy. It
Yeah.
is a
Oh,
little
so
crazy.
yeah. So I guess my point is that like I'm starting to put myself in a schedule, and now there's like I told you, like after this I have to go get ready for a show at 8, and then after I got the Avalanche game, and then go to bed by like 10:30, wake up, and then go back at it again. But every day, dude, I've been focusing really hard on vocal lessons and
Mhm.
working out, dude. And so
Yeah,
like, I get that.
good.
I like how you said CrossFit, gym. I'm all about that, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely kind of my go-to as far as I would say, kind of that hobby extracurricular piece. I just try to make that my thing. And, you know, not only does it make you stronger, it also, you know, I always say I would have killed a man by now if it wouldn't have been for the chance to take a little breather from this crazy life that I live here, to go do what I do. But, you know, that's also a weird thing of privilege, because I also, even though I make a super simple living, um, I still have the money to pay for a CrossFit gym, right? And it might be an exaggeration, but I would dare to say there's nobody on my block that could afford the membership at a CrossFit gym, right? So that's, you know, that's where I live in the hood here, and I'm super invested. But I've also got these things that make me acutely aware of my rootedness, my privilege, my whiteness, my background. You know, even though as a pastor, um, you know, I was a good
Uh,
pastor, and I was at a
yeah.
good church for 28 years, and
Wow.
I got some money in the bank, and, you know, but it's sort of a weird thing. So the same thing that keeps me sane in the hood is also a little piece. You know, most of our friends here in the neighborhood might belong to Planet Fitness or something more affordable, and so it's kind of a weird thing. But I'm really open with my friends on the street. You know, they know that I go to a, you know, fancy gym, and I put on a little weight during COVID. I've kept it on. I'm super strong right now, but I'm also a little chubbier than I should be. And a lot of my friends on the street, they're like, Tiger, you put on some weight. Like, shut your mouth, you know?
Yeah. Come on.
So, you
Come
know,
on,
I've
man.
never, absolutely, I've never stopped working out. I just I stress ate a lot over the last year and a half. So,
So were you are you from Colorado? Is that where you were a pastor in Colorado?
yeah, I lived in
Cool.
Monument, which is the exact opposite. So that's right by the Air Force Academy.
Over
And
there by the Springs?
yeah, north of the Springs, the most conservative place in Colorado, which is the exact opposite of me. So I spent 28 years really investing in the lives of people who were struggling and
Right.
impoverished. And I always told my congregation I love the poor way more than the rich. And I was really invested in the school district, uh, kind of working with at-risk kids that were in the principal's office. And I spent a lot of time working with the homeless community in Colorado Springs, and hanging out in motels and things like that. I'm really kind of an anti-church guy in a lot of ways. I love places of community and some
Yeah.
faith pieces, but
You're
the
more spiritual. Are you more spiritual than religion? It sounds like.
yeah, a fairly universalistic, which as a
Cool.
Lutheran pastors are fairly educated and they love books and all that shit. And my you know, my little home here, I've got probably 5 books from my past.
Yeah.
Pastors love things behind them that say, I've read all this stuff. Look
Right,
how important I am. And I'm always like, I hate theology. Like, just pick up a newspaper and, hang out with somebody to learn. So I lived a little bit of a different life than a lot of pastors do, I would guess. And that's really ultimately what launched me to do this. My wife died. She got super sick, and she died. She always knew I wanted to live in the hood. We spent a lot of time coming to neighborhoods like this. I've always gone to cities and wandered around impoverished places, and I knew this was what I wanted to do with my life. And my wife's death, though super tragic and unbelievably painful, also gave me this crazy gift to do what I'm doing now. And I've got a great gal in my life now that's just an absolute love and a great partner. But she doesn't really want to move. She lives 2 miles from me in a fancier part of town. She doesn't, especially last summer, we were in a gunfight and stuck in my truck with 40 bullets come down the street. We were laying down underneath the dashboard, trying not to get hit by these bullets.
Wow.
And so she's experienced it over here. And, one of my neighbors was killed last summer in front of
Oh my.
Got 20 times right in front of my house. And I bought the house from some folks that got scared because somebody else was killed in front of the house. So it's the real thing. So
yeah,
but it's not like Monument for sure. But I was down there for a long time and just stepped into this really missional, what I call missional life, just kind of full time on the street.
Yeah, sorry about your wife. She's in a better place, and
absolutely, my man.
Absolutely, and
no colon cancer in heaven. That's what I say.
There you go. Absolutely. As well, you know what? You're out there and you're just living life to the fullest. And like you're just living life. I love that. And just be safe. Be safe, and I just pray, that's all I do. And that's all I do. I got a couple more questions here.
Yeah, fire away.
And I'm just so happy. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Here we go. Any advice for any upcoming do you have any advice for any upcoming nonprofit organizations like yourself?
I think the 2 things that I've learned, and from working with a lot of other nonprofits that I'm kind of partnered with and know leaders from, and I've been the board president of a few nonprofits in the past as well. But starting my own was a whole different thing, obviously. And I would say what I've learned from this and having other people that I've known is really know your target audience. What is it you're actually trying to accomplish in the world? And really focus and narrow in on that so you can be successful. There's so many nonprofits doing so many great things. There's no sense to really duplicate what somebody else is doing if they're doing it well. Maybe you can join with them versus creating your own. I think that piece is important. And I would also say the thing I've mostly learned, Ariel, is knowing your capacity. I have a calling to do what I'm doing. I've got great chemistry with the people that I'm working with in the world. And I've got pretty good character to do what I'm doing, I think. But you've got to know your capacity to pull this off. And because otherwise you're going to get pissed, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get nuts, you're going to work harder than you need to.
Is capacity, does that mean like how much you can take, how much you can, is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, a little bit how much you can take, what you're capable of doing emotionally and mentally.
Yeah, and when to say when to say no,
how
when
much
you can't.
can you go?
Yeah.
When to say no? Yeah, absolutely, right? Yeah. And really kind of calibrating that as you go along to be successful. I want to have an impact in the world, live a life of significance. And if you're working beyond your capacity or you're doing things you can't handle for a variety of reasons, you're going to be super ineffective.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. You're shooting yourself on the foot.
Absolutely. Right. So that piece of really knowing your capacity and knowing the people you want to serve and walk with and provide for, or, if you're looking to change the world, you got to really love that part of the world that you want to change. And for me, anybody who's experienced trauma, is up against it, has been, usually if you've been shitted on by the world, I have a real passion that I want to go there and, sort of stand with you. I'm not a protesty kind of guy. You won't find me doing some of those things. There's whole things in the world I let other people do. But people that I kind of run up against in the world see, and I want to stand with them, not necessarily change their life, but to let them know that they're valued and loved. And what would you need from somebody who's going to keep brushing up against your life? And maybe we can help you achieve or get to or heal some of the things that you want to be able to heal.
Yeah. Are you there?
I'm here.
Cool. Awesome, dude. You got cut off right there in a little bit, but I got.
Oh, sorry, man.
You're good, man. I got here valued and loved. Make sure who your target audience is. Focus on that. And just remember how much capacity you're able to do, because you think you're doing something, but you're kind of overworking yourself and you're not doing what you're doing. You're going to be shooting yourself in the foot,
Truth. Absolute truth, man. Yeah.
I love that. Last question. Are you happy?
Yeah, brother. I think I'm really happy with my mission. I'm happy with the relationships I have in life. Happy with the impact, And we just buried a friend of ours on Sunday. I did a little street funeral where I had my friends from the neighborhood literally lead that sort of service, and even in the midst of death of a 30-year-old friend of ours that died of some organ failure, but ultimately that was caused from trauma. There was happiness even in the midst of that gathering because of living a life of community, right? So I'm all about, really, loving people and building community. And if we can do that in the midst of tragedy and suffering and even sadness, I always find that there's joy in that. Not about like, toxic positivity, but we can find joy and happiness even in difficult things when we're doing that together, and it's coming from the heart, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Community. And what would you say to people that are listening that are going through a rough time? What would you tell them?
Dude, seriously, I think, most folks are going through some tough time at any given time as the season of their life, right? It's just probably how that is expressed in the world. And for me, I always think the importance of vulnerability. If you're going through a hard time, be vulnerable. Let people that you trust know that you're going through a hard time. I mean, often we think people are well and happier than they are, or stronger or faster than they are, to let people know, like, man, this is difficult. Allow it. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
And let some people in your life, there's just no way we can live an impactful, significant life on our own. You don't have to have 1,000 friends, but sharing. And sometimes that vulnerability is the place where you gain deeper relationships. It can be with a stranger, and a little vulnerability, calibrated vulnerability at first, right? Can really impact. And I always think that's one of the best ways to deal with a difficult time,
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tyg. That is amazing story. I can pick your brain with so many questions, dude. We'll have to do a part 2 in the future.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you so much. I wrote down so many notes from our conversation, man. Whenever you have a shoe event and you need a musician, because I got my own gear, battery gear, because I go perform on the streets. All the time, dude. I perform like on Boulder on Pearl Street. I perform on Broadway. I perform on 16th Street.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, if you ever need like, hey, I need some music for this fund or whatever you're doing, man.
All right.
Yeah, I'll come, dude. I'd love to come. I got cover songs and everything. Yeah, dude. No, just hit me up. I'll come, bro. I'd love to volunteer as well. What else was I gonna say? Everybody, thank you for following and supporting my boy Tyg. Let me bring up his credentials here one more time so you guys can follow him. Let me bring it up here. because I do it live, baby. We do it live. Here we go. Boom. That's Holy Kicks, WHOLLYKICKS on the Instagram, Facebook, holykicks.org, WHOLLYKICKS.org is the website. You can donate, check out their mission, volunteer, partner with them, all the above. Tyg came and told us so much stuff on how to just be a better human being, network, connecting, and like I said, Tyg, if you ever need anything, hit me up. If you have anything you need to promote, hit me up. I got you. I'll throw you on the show. I ain't tripping.
Man. Yeah, it means a lot, Ariel. You're sweetheart of a human, man. Thanks for what you're doing in the world and creating energy and love. And you open us. It's great, man. We need more of that.
Already, bro. Anything you post, I'm gonna support you 100%. What else is I gonna say, guys? If you like this episode, make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe. Check out the link and send it to all your friends in your phone book. That's how we spread the word of love, networking, community. What else? This is one of my favorite episodes ever, dude. I'm so happy what you're doing. Keep doing it. Don't quit. If you need help, hit me up. What else? ArielENT.com, Ariels Entertainment Podcast, available on all podcast platforms, iHeart, Apple, Spotify. Thank you, everybody, for the donations and all your support, watching all my content, all the messages. I am just beyond grateful. We are out. I'm about to tell the DJ, drop the track. Tyg, anything else you want to say?
No, just peace, guys. Just celebrate who you're walking with, and just know that there are people out there who need your love, need you alongside of them. So peace, friends.
Woo! DJ, drop the track, baby.
Yo, this shit goes hard in the paint, bro.
Woo! Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. We did an amazing show. Oh my goodness. I'm going to leave out of here so happy and excited.
Awesome, bro.
I'm going to go spread it out to the world. I'm going to roll down the window. I'll be like, what's up, what's up, what's up? Ariel's Entertainment Podcast, baby. Ariel ENT, Tyg, holykicks.org. Go check them out. Woo!